This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy James.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wrestling with Entertainment podcast, and here I am, Artur Arder, and we're going to have a nice conversation with James.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today that trusts the choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J, and it's a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with Artur Arder. How are you today, Artur?
That's a very nice introduction. I'm doing great. Thank you so much. May I also have a second to mention my Instagram, which is _Arder. You could see all the news about my career there. Also, the main promotion that I'm wrestling in Finland, which is Slam Wrestling. Slam Wrestling is up on Triller TV. You could watch any Slam Wrestling show there, with featuring yours truly, of course. Also, Slam has YouTube channel and all the social media out there. All you have to do is to look for Slam Wrestling. And I also would like to mention Stockholm Wrestling. That's a promotion in Sweden that I'm working in regularly. They have a YouTube channel and all the social media out there. You can see me wrestle there as well. So feel free to look up on any social media you prefer Stockholm Wrestling and you'll find them.
Right, and where can we find your merchandise?
My merchandise is usually sold at the shows that I'm working, but I've also, a year ago, I've set up the ProWrestlingTees.com store, where you can also buy my merch, buy my t-shirt, and feel free to do that.
Alright, and you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media and merchandise will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, let's get into it. You mentioned that you work for Slam Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Slam Wrestling, I couldn't be happier that that's where I got my training. Because in Slam Wrestling, the promoter and the main coach is Starbuck, and Starbuck's been in the business for... I usually confuse those two because I don't remember. It's either 20 or 30 years because the man is entering his 50s and he's still wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember when he started wrestling. But he's either wrestled for 20 years or 30. I would believe that it's most likely 30. And he's been trained by Lance Storm in Canada, so that's some very high quality training, and he also trained together with Chris Jericho. And now I'm getting trained by Starbuck. Excuse me. And Starbuck is definitely one of the best coaches in Europe at the moment, and I'm getting coached up by him. So super happy about that. Slam Wrestling itself, very friendly promotion. Every time that we're on the show, it feels like one big family, pretty much. Always love the atmosphere there. The shows and the matches themselves usually flow very well because of the training that all the wrestlers got from Starbuck. Yeah, definitely worth checking it out.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but you currently reside in Estonia, right?
Yes, that's something that I'm proud of, for sure. I'll dive into the whole story. I do live in Estonia, and I'm getting my training in Finland because there is no pro wrestling in Estonia. Only slam wrestling. They make shows every now and then in Estonia when we get lucky. For example, this year we haven't had a single show in Estonia, mainly in Finland. And now, back to me, I suppose. I got into pro wrestling when I was 13, and I really wanted to do it, but there was just no way for me to start doing it when I was 13 because there is just nowhere to train in Estonia. So I came up with the next best thing that I could do, which is start doing freestyle wrestling and go to a language school where I can learn English. And that's what I did for the next 4-5 years. And then by pure accident, I found out about slam wrestling in Finland. And that seemed like the best option for me, traveling-wise. And 2 years ago, I started traveling to Finland for training, and usually it's a 3 to 4 hour trip one way, and then 3 to 4 hour trip back home. So I have to dedicate a whole day for the training, and usually I travel for the training on Thursdays. And that's been the drill for the last 2 years. I traveled on a regular basis to Finland in order to train and wrestle there on the weekends.
And that's incredible dedication to drive, literally to a different country to get training like that. But obviously, wrestling wasn't a thing in Finland until like 23 years ago when Starbuck brought it. Is there a reason that there isn't a wrestling promotion in Estonia?
Honestly, I don't know. It's kind of I guess thing is maybe this like historical figure George Hackenschmidt, and he's been Estonian, and he's also been one of the first ever pro wrestling champions over here in Europe, and he's been the champ for a long while, and he's been Estonian. Yet for some reason here in Estonia we've and it's been pretty much like 100 years ago, right. So we've just I guess forgotten about it or something. But yes, there's just no promotions, no academies here in Estonia, and that's something I'm trying to set up and make happen here in Estonia with Slam, so that we can train talent here in Estonia as well. If that would be possible to do in the next 3 years, that would be simply incredible, because that's the dream for me. Well, first of all, people and myself won't have to travel for the training anymore, because we would be able to train in Estonia, and that would also just help us to make shows in Estonia happen, because we wouldn't have to bring the ring all the way from Finland, and I think it would definitely make it easier to make pro wrestling cool again in Estonia, I guess, after 100 years.
George Hackenschmidt and then Artur Arder.
Yeah. Well, that seems like very likely, actually.
You mentioned that slam wrestling does come to Estonia sometimes. Have you been able to compete in Estonia, or has it primarily only been in Finland?
It's obviously primarily been Finland,
right.
And I think over my 2-year career wrestling with Slam, I've wrestled in Estonia, I believe, 3 times. Yeah, it was just 3 times. But Slam, they made shows in Estonia also, a couple of shows in Estonia before I came around, so more than 2 years ago. But in those last 2 years, I think there was only 3 shows, at least only 3 that I can remember of.
And obviously, you're training and you're primarily working in Finland. What did it mean to you to actually, compete in your home country of Estonia?
It's always been such a rush, and it felt so good because Finnish people, I'm not taking a jab at them there, but they're very reserved kind of people. You could say, I guess, boring maybe, but very reserved. They don't like to make a lot of sounds or get rowdy during the shows and so on and so forth, which makes it definitely a different experience of working a crowd. But when we go to Estonia, people there, they're way more rowdier than Finnish people, and then it gets incredible, simply magical. I think last year we've had a show at the American Car Festival in Estonia, and we got to wrestle in a castle actually, which was super cool. It was probably, I think it still is, the coolest venue that I've ever wrestled in. And we've had, like, what was it, 300 people there just chanting Eesti, which means Estonia in Estonian. And I still remember it to that day. And after that show, I couldn't even fall asleep because I still had the adrenaline in me like 6 hours after the show, because it was just so magical. And that show, it was I've been in a tag match. It was me and Mick Vainola. He's also Estonian, against Johnny McMell and Bjorn Sem, which Johnny is Finnish and Bjorn is Norwegian. So the dynamic in this match, the hometown heroes versus those foreign villains dynamic, been off the charts. It's been incredible.
All right. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that there has been maybe a change of perspective, a change of attitude for yourself since you've been tag teaming with Dylan Broda. Can you tell us about your relationship with him?
All right. Well, basically what happened there is that I felt like my career's been getting stagnant, and I haven't been given the opportunities that I deserve. So I definitely decided that some things need to be changed, and that's where Dylan came in. He guided me, and he helped me to find the way again. And I've been picking up win after win nowadays that I've started teaming up with Dylan and learning from Dylan.
All right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've picked up another member as well, Lexa Valo.
Yes, it was the same case with Lexa. She's been lost. She's been trying to be a people pleaser. She tried to do that whilst obviously things didn't work out because, I mean, what those folks can do for her, nothing. Whilst me and Dylan, we could actually help her get those opportunities and help her in order to not get screwed, because the last time that she challenged for the women's title, it's undoubtedly she got screwed. That's what I think, and that's what Dylan thinks. So this at the beginning of this month, when we had a show in Finland and Lexa finally got her rematch, me and Dylan, we've made sure that she wouldn't get screwed, and she got the win, and she's your new women's champion.
Hell yeah. Getting results.
Can you repeat the question again?
Oh, no, I was just commenting, getting results.
Oh, exactly. That was the case. Ever since I've teamed up with Dylan, I've been getting results, win after win, and it's the same case for Alexa. It's been incredible, and I'm really proud of the group that we have now.
it definitely seems like you're making some noise within Slam. So, is there a name for this faction that you have made together?
The faction is fairly new, and we've been thinking of names, but we haven't come up with any yet. Dylan used to be in a team called Black and Green Mean Machine, so the commentator's been sticking with that one for now, but we're trying to come up with something new.
All right. And obviously, you and Lexa is the first ones. Are there going to be new members?
We don't know yet. There are some good possible recruits that could join us, but it's haven't been made official yet. But there could be some people, yes.
All right. Now, what is a pet peeve about Dylan and Lexa that you just don't understand about them?
Can you rephrase that one? I don't think I've got you there.
What is a personality quirk about both of your stable mates that you just don't understand?
I don't think there are any. I'm very, well, at least I'm trying to be very thoughtful of people and their personalities, and I understand, well, I hope at least that I understand well why people do and say certain things. And when you have that understanding, you usually don't get annoyed with people's quirks or their strange maybe behaviors that they have. But I wouldn't say that Lexa nor Dylan have those. Well, they certainly do, but definitely not annoying me in particular.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, when I said that they definitely do, I meant that we all do, right? So that's what I mean by that. Everyone does have their quirks and some strange, their own strange, I guess, things that happen to them, and yeah, we all have that.
Would you like to share these strange or interesting things that they do?
I mean, let me think. And I don't think I can come up with anything on the fly here. So
fair enough.
Let's leave it at that.
Fair enough. You mentioned him. He is your trainer, the man that trained you. Starbuck. You have actually been in the ring with him. You have gone one-on-one with Starbuck. What was that experience like?
It's been a bit over than a year ago when I had a singles match with Starbuck, and this singles match, it felt like the first breakthrough in my career. It's been an incredible long match that I've enjoyed a lot, and I've been guided throughout the match by Starbuck, and after the match I've also been given feedback by Starbuck, and I've learned so much just from that one match that I had with him, and he also himself felt that I've proved myself, and I've been getting better opportunities from that point on. That was definitely like a breakthrough match in my career that I think I'll remember for a long time. Not only that, there is one funny thing about that match that I always like to bring up, because we've wrestled on, I think, some sort of a strongman competition. There was a bunch of people there, but thing is that the ring's been outside under the sun, and the weather, it's been just smoking hot. It's been so hot. It's been, I think, 30 degrees plus Celsius. And basically, the ring got also super hot, and the match's been long, right? So I've been in the ring, and every time that I would get bumped, I'm down. I just could not stay down because the ring itself's been that hot. So I just couldn't have time to grab like a few seconds of rest simply because it was just hot, too hot. You could not stay down. And then here's the dilemma, right? I cannot stay down to rest, so I have to get up and just keep on going. But whilst being absolutely exhausted. So that was definitely a bit of a difficult part about that match.
What does it kind of mean to you to be in the ring with your coach? Because, you know, your coach doesn't necessarily have to have a match with you, but it is, I kind of feel like it's a compliment to say, for your coach to say, you know, I want to have a match with you, I trust you, I feel comfortable being in the ring and having a match in front of a crowd.
You see, the coach is the person that would know when are you ready to wrestle, when are you ready to have a certain type of a match, and that was the case. I feel like Starbuck felt that I was ready and he wanted to test me, so he did. I've hanged in there. I've learned a lot from that, and here we are now. I think it's something that probably every wrestler will go through with their coach, because coaches, they're coaching the talent up, and they definitely want to test them and see for themselves what their trainees are about. And that's what Starbuck did with me more than a year ago.
You think you're more than due for another singles match against Starbuck?
Oh, I would love to, considering that he has this lovely Slam Wrestling Championship around his waist nowadays. For sure, that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, can you tell us about your rivalry with TT? You had quite the experience with him. You wrestled to a time limit draw and then a no contest, which actually led to a 2 out of 3 falls match, no?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. But actually, before we got our opportunity to wrestle in a singles match for the first time, we've teamed up a few times. It was definitely a pleasure. And then we had our first singles match at the Helsinki Metal Festival, where I almost got TT, but we've got counted out. It was very close. I almost got the win the first time around, and then none of this would have happened. But then, okay, we've got the draw, and here comes the second match that we had, which was I believe in October last year at Slam Nation. We've had another singles match, and that one, I'm gonna be honest, TT almost got me. I almost got pinned, but nonetheless, we still got counted out. So that's the one I'd say where I got lucky. And after that, Slam Wrestling's management came up with an idea to have a 2 out of 3 falls match, and that's what me and TT did in, I believe, was it February this year. We've had the 2 out of 3 falls match, and I felt like I needed to step it up in order to get the win in this 2 out of 3 falls match, and that's exactly what I did, and that's why TT could not get the win, because I've managed to dig deeper in order to get that win. TT injured his ankle, and I was not afraid to keep on working that ankle. I've injured him. He could not carry his daughter for a couple of weeks, and I'm proud of that because I got the win at the end of the day.
Damn, going total heel on TT.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what happened there. And I'm proud of that because in the end of the day, I ended up being the better man and I got the win.
Now, it seems like that was an important victory on your wrestling journey, no?
Yes, it definitely was. It was the victory that actually I'd say Dylan helped me. Dylan at that point he's been all over me trying to help me and make me understand that I need to step it up. I need to get more vicious. I need to stop thinking about the fans. And I decided to listen to Dylan, and that's what helped me to get that win. And this win's been also a turning point in my career where I've started to actually being a winner on regular basis.
Moments like that, are those moments you take in the moment, or is that something that kind of sets in afterwards? Like, wow, I did that. I'm doing this.
That's definitely a decision that you have to make in the moment, and that's exactly what I did back in February at what was the name of the show? Super Slam, I believe, where me and TT had 2 out of 3 falls match. That's where, in the moment, I made the decision that I need to get that win. I made the right decision, and I got the win.
Now, switching from Finland to Sweden,
Yes.
you've wrestled for Stockholm Wrestling.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that that experience wrestling in Sweden?
I also love it there. It's an incredible experience, and I'm very grateful I'm very grateful to Stockholm's wrestling management for having me on their shows regularly. Also, when I'm on those shows, it's pretty much the same thing as in Slam. It's a family. Everyone's working towards having a great show, having a great time doing the show. Super fun people there, some great talent there. I would love to mention Ozzy Miller. He and I had a singles match, the one I'm definitely proud of. I've enjoyed that singles match a lot. They've also got, I've seen that you've had him on your podcast a while ago.
Yes, shout out to Ozzy.
Vegan, yes, and Vegan's also incredible. He is super helpful, and that's in a way kind of something that I respect about him, and I want to be become more of myself, because he is super helpful. He always watches out for younger wrestlers, helps them, gives them advice. That's what he did with me. I'm super grateful for that, and I respect him for that a lot. And also the coaches. Sadly, I haven't gotten the opportunity to attend any of the trainings there in Sweden, but I would also love for that to happen. They've got some great coaches there. I believe Marcus of Man and Alice Inc. Are both responsible for coaching people there,
Yeah.
and I would love to get some of that experience and get trained by them as well.
Now, what was the crowd, the difference in crowds from Finland to Sweden?
In my opinion, there is definitely a huge difference, because Swedes are very rowdy, especially when you give them a drink or two. And that's usually the case with the Stockholm Wrestling Show. They are easily impressed. You don't really have to go all in with your matches, which is something that is definitely helps, I guess, to keep myself protected and safe. Yes. So the crowd is fairly easily impressed. They are very rowdy, very into the show. Um, it's like after the Finnish crowds that are fairly difficult to work, it feels like a breath of fresh air when I'm in Sweden with those absolutely crazy crowds.
No, did you? Because obviously, you trained a lot in Finland, so and you walked a lot there. Was it maybe a shock, or what was your reaction to hearing crowds get that loud?
I actually got to the first time ever that I wrestled in Sweden, I got to enjoy the crowd to my, yes, fullest possibility because I've been injured during that time, and I've been working a tag match my first time around there, and I've been injured and I had stitches in my knee. So during my match, my tag team partner at that time, Nick Lukonen, he's been the one in the ring mostly whilst I've been on the apron. And whilst I've been on the apron, I got to talk with the crowd, trash talk, I would even say, the crowd, and definitely feel it out, I would say. So I got the best first experience for that, but definitely not the best wrestling experience for the first time. I've been injured. I had stitches in my knee, which meant that I could not run. I could not really bump. The only thing that I could do is throw a punch and take a few punches.
How did you get stitches in your knee?
It's been an unlucky accident. I've been training like 2 weeks before this show in Sweden. I've been training different moonsault variations, and one of them's been to the outside of the ring. And when I did the moonsault, I missed the mats. There were mats on the floor, and I was supposed to land on them, but I missed them. My upper body landed on the mats, but my legs landed on concrete floor, and my knee landed, or my right knee landed the worst. I've Luckily, I didn't break my kneecap. I didn't have any cracks in it. I only had a very deep cut that I needed to get stitched up. And when it did get stitched up, my movement capabilities went very, very low. And that's been definitely an experience, I would say. My knee, my right leg's gotten very weak because I had stitches for well over a month, I believe. And then when I got them removed, I had to work through the pain to get the mobility back, to get the strength back. And I really had to work through the pain and be very quick about it because I believe after my stitches got removed, there was just a week or two, probably. I think, yeah, it was just 2 weeks before that Super Slam show where me and TT had 2 out of 3 falls match. So that's, I guess, some unique info right here, because not a lot of people know that, for example.
So you were on a deadline.
Yes, pretty much. And as soon as the stitches got removed, I've started walking and I've started to run as much as possible. And then I've got to the gym and I've started to basically pretty much stretch my leg in certain ways to ease the pain, started to apply some force onto it. And right now my legs are in a better shape than they were even before the injury. I'm proud of that. But yes, I was on a deadline, and in those 2 weeks I had to get as much mobility and strength back in my knee.
Now, we've talked about Starbuck already, but you've also wrestled Stark Adler. Just as much a veteran, well-respected name as Starbuck. What was that experience like going one-on-one with him?
It's also been a very crucial match in my career. It was one of those first matches that I had where we had to come up with the match on the show, on the fly, and Stark Adler helped me a lot with that. And I'd say my freestyle wrestling experience helped me a lot with that as well, because the match stipulation was that there should not be any kind of strikes, and it's been just pure grappling for 10 minutes. And it's, as I said, been also a crucial experience that I've got during that match. Stark Adder helped me through that a lot and taught me a lot with that match as well. I have to mention, Stark Adder's also been coaching in Slam. He's definitely not a regular coach, but sometimes Starbuck cannot make it because he has a show, or he also has a rock band. Maybe they have a show
He's a very
as
busy
a rock
man.
band. Yes, exactly. But he usual 95 probably percent of the time is able to make it to the training. But in those 5% that when he is not, Stark Adler's been there to coach up the Slams talent.
You actually more recently had a tag team match opposite of Stark. What was that experience like? Because it had been some time between times you did wrestle, no?
I don't think I've wrestled Stark Adler ever again. We just had a singles match year ago as well or something, and that was it. I don't remember having those tag matches where he's been on the opposite.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. I think you've maybe confused it with recently at the Metal Festival. It's been Toby Blunt and one of our new wrestlers that recently debuted against, or it was the other way around. But I remember it was Toby Blunt and one heel in his team. Maybe it might have been Dylan, actually. That's why you've confused it, against Stark Adler and somebody else.
Oh, that must have been what I read. Apologies for that.
It's no big deal, don't worry.
Now, let's get to Artur's bizarre adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
There are many stories like that, and I usually don't remember them. I remember two of them. They're very inappropriate, I would say. And if I should mention them, I don't really want to, I guess. Something more appropriate is not, I guess, something I would remember. But those situations, like it's a regular thing. Those kind of bizarre situations that happen on the road, because it's wrestlers that it happens with, right?
Right.
And to be a wrestler, you need to be a certain kind of crazy. And when you get all those certain kind of crazy people together, those situations are bound to happen. And they happen so often that I tend to not remember all of them. Yeah, so there is that.
So you block them out?
Not really. I enjoy them. I cherish them, but it's I guess it's just the way that my brain is wired, where I'm trying to remember only the important stuff, the stuff that I consider important. Those memories, if you, for example, like show me a picture from that show, I would be like, oh yeah, that's the show where guy A and guy B did this and that, and we all laughed about it. But just like that, I don't think I can remember anything, you know?
All right. Well, answer me this. Does weirder shit happen with Dylan or with Nick?
Nick. Undoubtedly. He... Well, we've stopped teaming up, and I've ditched that loser, but when we did, there's been all kind of crazy stuff happening and conversations that's been happening. Super funny, something that I've enjoyed as well. And yeah, Nick is that type of guy. He is a certain kind of crazy, and he, when it's wrestling time and he's in a good mood, he takes that certain kind of crazy to all the 110%, and that's what I love about him, because I'd say it's a similar case with me.
All right. Now, going from pro wrestling to freestyle wrestling, you were somewhat of a prodigy in it, no?
Yes, you see, usually people start out those Olympic sports when they are super young, like 5 years old or something. So in that case, I've started very late, when I was 13, because that was the next best thing if I wanted to do the pro wrestling, because when I was 13 I got into pro wrestling. I wanted to do that, but I only could do freestyle.
Right.
And that's where I got super lucky. I live here in Estonia again by a pure accident, because at first I had an Estonian coach, but he was super old, so he, I think, retired after like 6 months, and after those 6 months I've met 3 Ukrainian coaches, and they've been simply incredible. I'm so glad that I got to be coached up by them, because Ukrainian freestyle wrestling is on a higher level than in Estonia, and in that way they've helped me so much to catch up with those Estonian guys that have been wrestling since they were 5 to 6 years old, you know, because they've got like so much years of experience on me, since they've been doing that since their very early childhood days. And these coaches, 3 different coaches with 3 different style, 3 different perspectives, been giving me advice, has been coaching me up, showing me different moves, maneuvers, and it advanced me so much. And also, what was the case there, I think, is that I trained with not with the guys my age, and not with the guys that were around my body weight. I've arrived there, and it's the choice been just wrestling kids. Well, I was 13 already, so definitely not a 6-year-old anymore. When there's a huge difference, size difference there. So, like, of course, not going to do that. Or wrestling the grown-ups, so the guys in the end of their 20s, in the middle of their 20s, or even older, and they were much bigger than I am. So that's what I did, and that, I think, also helped me to gain a lot of experience, because I've wrestled more experienced wrestlers, and also just build up my resilience, because it's been definitely very, very exhausting, because I still remember my first year of training with them. I would go to school, have those lessons and whatnot, go to the training immediately, do the super exhausting training, a lot of falling, a lot of just getting up, because obviously I'm getting thrown around.
Right.
A lot of just getting up. It's been super exhausting. They've got like 20 kilos of muscle on me, and I had to wrestle them, which was super exhausting. And then after those trainings, I would come back home. I wouldn't even have the strength in me to go to the shower. I didn't even have the strength to remove my clothes and get on the bed to sleep. I just fell asleep on the floor. I remember that was a very regular thing. I would fall asleep on the floor, sleep till it's 2 or 3 a.m. And then I would wake up and I'm like, oh, it's the middle of the night. And then, I've rested a bit, right? So, and that's where I would get up, take the shower, finally remove my clothes and get on the bed and sleep the rest a couple of hours before the school in that very bed now. So it's been super exhausting, but it helped me so much to build myself to build my character. And I'm not talking about the pro wrestling character, I'm talking about real life character. I'm grateful for that experience, and I think every person that ever did any kind of Olympic wrestling in their life, it's just they are a certain level of tough, and this toughness, it carries through in their life a lot with pretty much everything. Because you can make a lot of parallels with your regular life stuff and amateur wrestling. It's a very similar thing in that way, where you just gotta hustle, and sometimes it looks like it doesn't pay off, but you still gotta do it, and then at some point something good happens and you finally get what you have deserved after all the hustle that you've put into it.
All right. And did you was you in tournaments? Did you things of that nature?
Yes, I was, and loved it. I think I've gotten the 3rd place on Estonia Nationals once.
Wow.
That was the highest that I've ever been. But definitely there is, that's where the similarities between pro wrestling and, I guess, freestyle wrestling comes in. The camaraderie, traveling with your team around the country for those competitions, bonding together, doing stuff together, cutting weight together, eating together, traveling together. That's a great experience that I love and have very fond memories of. There was actually a very, I guess, well, it was, well, it's funny now, but after one of the competitions, I believe it was in January, yes, because after that competition, I wanted to see the Royal Rumble with my buddy. We were supposed to meet at my place after I arrived from competition very early at night. Very late at night. And basically what happened is that it was like an hour ride from the town where the competition's been to Tallinn, where I live, the town where I live in. And but what happened is we've got into an absolutely horrific snowstorm, and we rode very, very slowly because you just could not even see the road. And at some point we've almost hit those fences that they have on the side of the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're,
the
right.
stops.
Yeah, exactly. We've almost hit those because you just could not see anything. But we've managed to get back home absolutely okay. We didn't hit anything, but it was definitely a stressful experience for the driver. But our driver, I guess it's the best person for the job. The man who's been driving the car that day, he's a policeman, so he would know what to do and how to drive the safest in that environment. And he did exactly that. We've all gotten home safe. Then I've went to my place. My buddy got there, and we've watched the Royal Rumble that year. I don't remember which year it was. I think it was 2021, maybe. I think it was that one, yeah.
To the one Edge one.
Yeah, I think so. Wait, maybe not. I think it's the one that Drew McIntyre won. No, he won one in
That was
2020. You know, I honestly don't remember which one it was. So let's just stick with it. It's either been 2020 or 2021.
Fair enough.
It actually might have been 2020 because it's been January, so that's been before the COVID hit. So it might be either two of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got a bizarre adventure in there as well. Not necessarily a pro wrestling, but a wrestling.
Yes, that's why I said there are like some similarities there, and the camaraderie. It's absolutely the same thing. I guess the way that you talk with the guys, the way that you the things you laugh about with the guys, the things that you eat with the guys, the things that you do with the guys, it's absolutely the same experience. Basically, traveling with the boys around. So with pro wrestling, you would travel with the boys to the shows and do those shows. And then when I did freestyle wrestling, I traveled with the boys to those competitions and do those competitions.
I just find it interesting that literally nobody from Estonia wants to be your coach. I mean, Starbuck Finland, your other ones were Ukrainian.
Can you repeat the question again?
No, I'm just saying I find it interesting that nobody from Estonia is a coach. You gotta have to find a coach for wrestling in Finland, from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah. I mean, I've been coached by some Estonian folk because I am proud of the fact that I did freestyle wrestling, and that's what I wanted to do. But I've also did swimming. I've also done karate. What else? Maybe. Yeah, let's stick with that if I can't remember it. And that's where I also had Estonian coaches, and yeah, those just coaches been incredible, and I'm so glad that I got to do sports so much in my life when I had so many different coaches with different ideas, and though they tried to install those ideas into me, and I've gotten better because of that, and I'm happy for that. And yeah, in terms of, guess, pro wrestling coaching, I'd say give me a couple years and I would be on that level where I would be able to start coaching people in Estonia about pro wrestling. And we would be able to have regular shows there, actually coaching the talent there, just a couple of years. And I think that might happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you could correct me if I'm wrong here, but you was a casino announcer?
Yes, I used to work as in a casino, as a online casino, as a game presenter, which is basically makes me a dealer. So I've been dealing cards. It helped me so much with my pro wrestling. I think I started working in casino probably 4 to 6 months after my pro wrestling debut. And when I worked in casino, it helped me so much to get comfortable in front of the audience, in front of people, in front of the camera. Helped me a lot with that for sure. Because I definitely been, I think it's visible in my first few matches that there is a certain degree of anxiety that I had throughout those matches, but I definitely had it under control. But you could definitely see that, and I would not say that it's visible anymore. And I obviously, because I've gotten more experienced in pro wrestling, and also I would say because I've gotten this day-to-day experience of being in front of a live audience, and that happened when I worked in a casino.
You learned that poker face.
I didn't have the poker face. No, I've But that's the thing. We had to be entertaining. We've been evaluated based on our performance. So we needed to be entertaining, funny, always talking, and that's what helped me there. Exactly.
Speaking of which, could you tell us about banana picks?
All right, of course. That's what I'm proud of. You know, all those wrestlers out there, they like put up those little flag emojis in their account bio and whatnot. No, I felt like I need to be different with those. So that's where I created these. Instagram has this like highlight feature where you could put up your different stories and they would be visible all the time and would not disappear after a 24-hour time period. So I came up with an idea of just snapping, because it also translates into my like weird pre-show ritual. Well, it's not that weird, but it's a ritual of mine. To basically banana picks, right? So I would make a debut in a different country, and I would snap a selfie with a banana in that country, basically mentioning that, yeah, I'm here, I made my debut, I took a banana pic there. So like every country that I wrestle in, I made my debut there for the first time, I have to take a banana pic. And that's how that translates into this weird ritual that I have. Before every show, I need to hit the grocery store in that country that I'm wrestling in, and I need to buy myself 2 bananas and 2 energy drinks. And then 2 hours before the show, I would have that banana, and I would have 1 energy drink. And I would be all set for the match, for the show, for the performance. And again, and then after the show, when you're tired, you're exhausted, you still need to help out with the ring. You still need to carry all that heavy crap back to the place wherever the promotion stores the ring in. And that's where second energy drink and second banana come in. I have those, and then I'm all set to help the guys with the ring and not, I guess, being miserable about it, you know.
Alright, so what you're saying is we need to see Artur Arder in different countries so we could get more of these picks.
Exactly. We at the moment we have Denmark and Sweden, and I'm actually debating whether I should do a banana pick for Estonia and Finland, because it's kind of like my home area, I would say. So I'm debating whether I should get a banana pick from Estonia.
I feel
and
you
Finland.
gotta.
But I mean, yeah, I think so, because the idea is that I take banana pick in every country that I wrestle in. So I've wrestled in Estonia and Finland, so probably should. Well, we've got a show coming up in Estonia, hopefully in a month's time. It's not 100% yet, but if it happens, maybe I'll take that picture. And also Slam Wrestling has a show coming up on the 5th of October. I think it's going to be up on Triller TV if you're not from Finland. And maybe I'll take that picture over there.
Oh,
And yeah, definitely, the more countries that I'm in, the more banana picks you get. So that's the math there.
Let's get you in Germany, Austria, America, Canada.
Exactly. UK, everywhere. We can go worldwide, and I'm all in for that. If there are any promoters out there listening to that, like, feel free to book me. I'll gladly bring myself over the first time around, and let me prove myself to you.
Hell yeah. Alright. Can you tell us if there is any meaning behind the tattoo on your chest?
Yes, this tattoo I wanted to have for a long time, because this tattoo brought me to where I am today. Not the tattoo itself, but the lyrics. It's lyrics from a song made by Skillet and called The Resistance. This song helped me a lot, because Obviously, when I got the dream to become a pro wrestler, there was a lot of anxiety in there because at that time, it seemed freaking impossible. There's nowhere to train, and I've just been this chubby kid. Back then, it just seemed impossible. Like you becoming a pro wrestler, it seemed very impossible to me, to people around me. But I've stuck to it, and I've tried things out. The thing is, a lot of people in life are afraid to take that first step to do something new. But the thing is, they are afraid, right? And they were too afraid, and they haven't started doing it. They haven't tried it out. But what if they were super talented in that? What if they were super good, but they just didn't know? Because they didn't try. And that's where these lyrics come in. The lyrics are "Sleeping in the shadows could be making history." And that's the case with a lot of people, well, not, but some people, I would say, where they've got this dream, they want to do something, but they're too afraid to start it. And therefore, they're sleeping in the shadows, but they could be making history because they could be so freaking talented and so good in that, but they just don't know. And I could have fell victim to that as well, because I was super scared of starting freestyle wrestling, because again, I've just been this chubby kid that haven't done sports for the last year in his life. And I've been super scared about starting freestyle wrestling. And I remember actually at first when I got the call that they would have me and they're okay with me training there, I said no. And then we stopped the conversation, and I legit cried in my room for like an hour, and then I was like, okay, fuck that. I gave the guy a call back and said that I'm going to train with them. And just think about it, like none of my pro wrestling career would have happened, none of my freestyle career highlights would have happened if I just didn't give him that call back. So that's why I really wanted to have that tattoo. And I would say this song also, throughout that moment where I cried for an hour, I remember that song, I remember those lyrics, and that's probably what made me to call back, to give the guy a call back and say that I'm going to train with him. So here we are now, not sleeping in the shadows, and we are making history.
That's absolutely awesome. That's a good story.
Yes, and I'm proud of that. We all have our own journeys that make us who we are, and I'm really proud of mine.
Is there any plans for new tattoos in the future?
Yeah, I actually really want to have a pretty much a half sleeve on my left arm. Still coming up with the ideas, because I don't want to do a Randy Orton with just skulls out of nowhere. So it's in my opinion, it's a very lame idea, and yeah, so definitely need to give my tattoos a nice amount of thought.
All right. So, ready to it's a preview. Yet to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So a half sleeve. That's what I'm aiming towards. So probably in the next 10 years, I'll come up with this half sleeve and get it done, because it's also to have those like really big tattoos. It takes a while, and usually you get them like partially. First you do the shoulder, and then the bicep, and then so basically that's how it goes. So it's going to take a while.
All right, and I think that's a great segue into the colossal question. Let's say that they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
I love that question. Okay, so we've just talked about Skillet,
Yeah.
The Resistance. That's the song. We're putting that in there.
Of course.
Okay, so it's a tough one. There is also one that would be pretty good. Give me a second. I listened to it recently. Oh, but I haven't added it to my playlist. Well, never mind then. Oof, it's a tough question because I'm listening to so many different songs, mostly rock and metal genre, but nonetheless very different songs. Skillet, The Resistance for sure. There is a song by a band called Trivium. I Don't Want to Be Me. This is a pretty good one.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. And just for the funsies, because I don't want my movie to get that depressing, I guess, and whatnot. We need to include one funk song. Maybe we can make a scene in the bar and whatnot, and then this song comes up in the bar, called "The Beard Accessory Store" by The Beards. It's an incredible song. You should give it a listen. Super, super fun.
Okay. A solid 3 picks, to say the least. Alright. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go the casting. Who plays you, and you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Give me a second. I've got a couple of ideas. So Brad Pitt. That would be nice.
Okay.
But a younger version of him, I suppose.
We got CGI. We could make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Tom Cruise as well. This guy would work. And I think maybe Christian Bale. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as well. I think those 3 guys could do that.
Well, it's always good to have options.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people significant to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
I'd say my mother, because when I got the dream to do pro wrestling, become a pro wrestler, seemed impossible to everyone, including me, except her. She thought that I could do that, so she's been crucial in that. Next person, I'd say my girlfriend. We've started dating recently, but we've known each other for a long time and been very good friends. And she's been that person, the only person in my life who is not my relative, that has always been by my side and never left me at any point. So I think she has to be in there. And for the 3rd place, let's put multiple people in there because they're like in the same group. My coaches. So I'd definitely put Starbuck in there.
Clearly.
I would put my Ukrainian coaches in there, all 3 of them, and just for the laughs, we can include the PE teacher as well. We had when I've been in school, me and my PE teacher, we had a very good relationship. Been super fun. He didn't just this like good relationship where we could have some, I guess, make some funny scenes out of it. So we could those are the people I would say. Yeah.
Okay. And who will be playing these individuals?
Okay, that's actually a tough one. That's something that I haven't given much thought, so that's
I mean,
probably...
Starbuck's an easy one. He could play himself. He's already an actor.
Oh, for sure, yeah. He's got acting experience. He could do himself. My mom wouldn't do it though, so there definitely needs to be someone else. I mean, I think it's one of those cases where you need to do like proper, I guess, casting interview
Okay.
and come up with people.
So leave it to casting.
Yeah, I think so. I would definitely attend it to see the folks. Yeah, that's up to the casting. We need to do the interviews for those secondary roles.
Fair enough. All right. It's definitely sounding like an incredible movie. And you could pre-order the tickets now. Now onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
No. That's heresy. You cannot put pineapple on pizza. My stance there is very strong. Actually, maybe 6 years ago or something, me and a good friend of mine, we've had this argument because he's the pineapple on pizza type of guy, and I'm the opposite. We were just made a bet that in a week or two, I think it was something around that, we would ask absolutely random people on the street or the people that we know what's their stance on that. And we did that. And every day we would message each other. We were super honest about it. It's serious stuff, pineapple on pizza, right? So yeah, we were like very honest about it. We were messaging each other every evening, saying about our results. Like, because some people would say, well, for example, in my friend's case, right, he would ask somebody and they would be against having pineapple on. So he would also include that, right? And we would basically have the results for the end of every day. And throughout pretty much the whole time that we've been doing it, I've been losing. But there were he always had like 4 or 5 more people who love pineapple on their pizza. But the very last day, we were walking and we see this like group of kids playing. So we came up to them. We're like, so. What do you guys feel? Do you like pineapple on your pizza? All of them said no. And there was like 10 of them. And then finally, I got the win on the very last day. So statistically, more people like not having the pineapple on their pizza, and I'm one of them.
Okay, so we are very anti-pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Right.
It's not allowed. You cannot do that.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
Oh my, I've never been into Pokemon. I've been, even, because when I was a kid, though they were popular, but I were never into them. I've had different cartoons, so I doubt that I can answer that one.
Fair enough. Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
Okay, acronym, it's, what does that mean exactly?
Like, WWE is the acronym for World Wrestling Entertainment.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Acronym for a thug. Can you maybe come up with some examples yourself?
You could just say no, and I could spell it out for you.
Okay, go ahead.
T is for terrible. H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. 'Cause a Doug can't spell.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I see that. It's like, yeah, it was a bit confusing for
I
I mean,
understand.
English. It's still my second language, so I was a bit more confusing with that.
No, I
It was,
understand. But
yeah,
we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show, and we're trying to keep the memory alive.
Okay.
Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
You see, some in wrestling, wrestlers have these expressions where some wrestlers are that good that they can work a broomstick. So I guess I can be good enough to work a rock at some point, right?
Right.
So I guess why the hell not?
Alright, well, just for context, there's this wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
That's incredible. What a beast.
Yes. He actually had a couple of matches during the 2-week span while he was still wrestling The Rock. On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself either being the guy to have on your pro wrestling show everywhere in Europe, or I see myself having an NXT Europe contract and doing that. There are rumors of NXT Europe coming up. Hopefully, it will be there in 5 years, and I would love to be one of the people to get the contract.
Alright, and what is a match?
In those next 5 years, those are the two possibilities. And now, carry on. What were you about to say?
Oh no, I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm done now. So.
Okay. Alright, and what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what you are all about as a pro wrestler?
Okay, one that I've had last year in August against, I believe his name is Destin Forte. This match shows what I'm about very well. My match against Ozzy Miller in Sweden shows what I'm about very well. And also this more shooty freestyle wrestling side of me that you will not always get to see, but you could see that side very well in my match against Scotty Davis that I had this year. Scotty Davis is a way better freestyle wrestler than I am, and he is an incredible pro wrestler. And we had a very real shooty style of match when we worked each other, and it's been incredible. Maybe I can come up with 2 more matches. Maybe not. Let's leave it with those 3, I think.
Can we find those matches on YouTube?
I believe you can find the Scotty Davis match on Triller TV. Look up for Slam. The show's name's been Metalli Slam, I believe. That's where the match is on. Match with Destin Forte. I don't think it's uploaded anywhere. I've just got some videos that my girlfriend shoot on my phone. The Ozzy Miller match, I don't think Stockholm Wrestling uploaded it anywhere yet. I think they will in some time, but they haven't done that yet. So feel free to check out the Scotty Davis match. It's been an incredible one. And feel free to check out Scotty's matches. I mean, he is the next level type of talent. The man worked Jushin Liger. He worked RVD. He worked... God damn it. Forgot the guy's name. He just won the title at AEW's show yesterday against MJF.
Bryan Danielson.
Oh
no, Ospreay.
No, against exactly Ospreay. He worked Ospreay. Worked a lot of great talent. He's very experienced and he's also young. He hasn't hit his 30s yet, and he already has such a resume. Incredible wrestler, and I'm glad that I got to work him.
All right. And if you have Driller, you could absolutely check out that match. And if the match with Ozzy Miller is indeed uploaded before this interview drops, I will update the video with the link to that match in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview. Alright. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Damn it. I'm a bit biased there. I always say Drew McIntyre, but he's the greatest wrestler to me for different reasons. He's great on the mic, he's great in the ring. Maybe not the best, but his I guess life story is very similar to mine. Whilst he traveled from Scotland to England in order to train, and it took him a long time as well. So he definitely showed some dedication there, a lot of dedication there. And I have the similar thing with traveling from Estonia to Finland. So it's always Drew McIntyre for me, but for not your, I guess, regular reasons for what makes a pro wrestler the greatest of all time.
Hey, I dig the answer. Alright, worst wrestler.
Worst? Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Give me a second. Man, this new run that Nia Jax is on is pretty... Well, at least she hasn't hurt anyone, but before that she's been very dangerous. Yeah. I guess we can go with her, because I'm never like paying much attention on. I mean, it's kind of weird to hate on someone when you like don't really know them and so on and so forth, and I just don't have that in me. But let's roll with Nia Jax. But hate is a strong word. I don't have it in me to like have a proper opinion on somebody that I would hate. You know, it's not my style.
And I will accept that answer.
Mm-hmm.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Drew McIntyre.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Okay. Maybe CM Punk's old song, Killswitch Engage, This Fire, or Drew McIntyre's old song, Broken Dreams by Shaman's Harvest.
Okay.
I think it's either these two. And actually, I would like to add to the first question. So it's Drew McIntyre, but if we're talking in ring wise, there are two wrestlers that are sharing the number one spot for me. Like ring skills wise, it's Ilya Dragunov and Dolph Ziggler. These are the guys that I would like to be more like in the ring. And in my opinion, they're the best in the ring.
Okay.
At the moment. Yeah. And let's move on to the next question now.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is...
Protection.
We would have also accepted taste great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit.
God damn.
It has seeds, so it has tomato logic.
Okay.
But you are a part of Squash Squad now, and that means a hell of a lot more. Alright, New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Can you rephrase that one more time?
When a wrestler has wrestling trunks on, how much of their butt cheeks should hang out?
Okay. Now, yeah. Depends if you've got good butt cheeks and good legs. I mean, it could be just a little bit, maybe. Either not at all or a little bit, like 2 centimeters.
So like
Something
10%.
like yeah,
There you go.
Exactly.
And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No. It's something that could probably happen in US or UK if, you're there getting groceries and you see a guy wearing a pro wrestling t-shirt and you're wearing a pro wrestling t-shirt as well, and yeah, it's likely that you guys would come up to each other and probably say something, but that's not the case in majority of Europe, and definitely not in Estonia, where we don't have a proper pro wrestling promotion here, and there are no training here. Most people don't know what that is, so no, I never did have that conversation with someone in a supermarket.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's been so fun.
It was an absolute pleasure. And once again, can you tell us where we can find you on social media and your merchandise?
Yes, you could buy my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com. Look up for Artur Arder there. You should find me, and there's my t-shirt. Social media, I only do Instagram at the moment, so _Arder is my tag. You could find that and follow me on Instagram. My wrestling, you could see that in Stockholm Wrestling in Sweden. You can see that in Slam Wrestling in Finland. Slam's up on Triller. Stockholm Wrestling is there on YouTube, so feel free to look for me in those two promotions at the moment.
And obviously book him in other countries. We need new banana pics, damn it.
Yes, you do that. We need more banana pics. I need more banana pics, and everyone else needs more banana pics. That's the logic here. Everyone needs some banana pics, right?
Of course. And you don't have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media and merchandise will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. you have no excuse. Buy a damn shirt. And of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Zoe Cannon, and join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Dread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling with, you say entertainment, okay?
Alright.
For our very special guest, Artur Arder, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.